Witsel, Meunier, Carrasco, Mertens, Trossard and De Bruyne. The countdown is finished. It's Anthony Taylor refereeing the match tonight. English team of officials, his second game at this World Cup, and Croatia already on the attack, and a shot across the face of goal from Perisic on the left-hand side. They fired it forward quickly. Perisic got it under control, and hitting it as he did, you know, we're on the other side of the ground. That felt like it was not far away.
What a start that would have been, under 10 seconds, and it was just one long ball. And Belgium have set up in a back four, which we weren't expecting, and I don't think Meunier, the right back, was expecting that at all. He just watched the ball sail over his head, Perisic onto it. He can come inside and shoot, and showed how.
Yeah, so it is a back four. So Meunier on the right-hand side, and Castagna playing as the left back.
Yeah,
mind you, that could switch as the ball's played over the top, and Croatia could be in here again. It's into the penalty area, and the ball is pulled right across to Kramaric, who gets it under control. Belgium are all over the place, scrambling with the defence. It's played out towards the right-hand side. Here's the cross in from Juranovic, and it's cleared away to comparative safety. But that did not bode well for Belgium. They were at sixes and sevens.
They're all at sea. There are players on the line, there are players scrambling anywhere in the penalty area, and another just straight ball, straight through the defence.
Croatia score now. That could be big trouble for Roberto Martinez and this Belgian team. Throw in long into the penalty area. That is safely headed away. Finds Modric on the right-hand side, but he failed for once to take it into his path. The great man, Luka Modric, winning his 158th cap tonight, and he's got a fortunate bounce of the ball. Levaya pulls it across, and he passed it straight to Witsel of Belgium, who was able to, well, coolishly pass it out of the box. And Belgium in the red shirts with the yellow numbers, black shorts and black socks, and they're playing against Croatia in their famous red and white checks, white shorts and white socks. Modric has lost possession. Carrasco takes it on, and then he gets it back, and Carrasco now approaches the edge of the Croatian penalty area, still going. He's on his right foot, he's got options. He plays it out to the right hand side. Meunier is there, then back to De Bruyne on the right. Little ball into the edge of the penalty area. That's cleared by Gvardiol out towards the halfway line. The other thing we should say is, very unusually for me today, drove to one of these World Cup grounds in daylight, but it is now dark, black, inky sky above the stadium. The lights, the white lights are flashing on the metalwork above the Ahmed bin Ali Stadium, and inside, round about 45,000 capacity. But what is actually striking is the fact that the contingents of supporters with replica Croatian shirts, that's relatively small, and the Belgian section down there is absolutely tiny. As the ball's played over the top, but Gvardiol is able to get a foot on that. But Belgium coming forward, and the ball is played across. Carrasco was near the edge of the penalty area, but Modric nipped in, and Modric plays it away to Perisic, and then the covering challenge is there to put it out of play for a throw into Croatia on the halfway line. The first 3 minutes of the match have been like the last 10 minutes of some matches.
It's been an incredible start, and you just think that both teams have been able to drive through the opposition, straight through the middle of the both midfields. You're looking at Belgium, they're just grateful to get the foot on the ball almost, because they hadn't had a kick.
So the big news for Belgium tonight, Roberto Martinez leaving out his captain, Eden Hazard, who's on the bench. Batshuayi not involved today. Onana is suspended, that's why he's not involved after his 2 yellow cards. And Romelu Lukaku is still on the substitutes bench, obviously having been really bothered with hamstring injuries this season. So he is not risked from the start, but you have the feeling that it might be that Roberto Martinez, if he's okay, will have to use him at some stage. De Bruyne gets the ball back in centre field and then passes it through. That's a fine ball to Carrasco on the left-hand side. He's on his right foot, all right foot, and into the penalty area now, plays it back behind him. Castagna is there, square to De Bruyne, but Croatia have got everyone back behind the ball, and Witsel plays it to the right-hand side, to Thomas Meunier. Low ball in, is cleared away by Gvardiol, and there has been an early goal in the other match. Aaron Paul is watching the pictures.
Canada 0, Morocco 1, and this is easy as you like for Hakim Ziyech. An error from Milan Borjan in the Canada goal. He dragged the ball out of his area. It was a loose pass towards Ziyech, who just lobbed the goalkeeper, and Morocco, with such a fast start, have an early lead here. And as things stand, they top Group F. Canada 0, Morocco 1.
Yeah, Morocco win, they will be through, and one of these teams will be going out, and with the scorelines as they are, that team would be Belgium. But that's a great start for Morocco, really good settler for them.
Yeah, weren't quite sure how that game was going to pan out. It's unknown quantity in Canada, how they'd respond to being out of the tournament. Morocco with that goal really is a settler.
Croatia 0, Belgium 0. Just getting used to the fact that it is just after 3 o'clock in the afternoon back home, so you might be on your way home. Of course, you can take the World Cup with you via BBC Sounds if you've got to take the dog for a walk or you've got to pick up the kids, whatever you're doing. And at the moment, Belgium have got the ball inside their own half, and it's going to be played back to goalkeeper Courtois to our right, winning his 100th cap tonight and also setting a Belgian record, because this is his 24th appearance at either World Cup or European Championship finals tournament. So the first man to do that for Belgium, and the 7th man to become a centurion for the Belgian national team. And all 7 of them are in this squad, which is remarkable.
I was saying before, and marked on that as well, as that's a positive in some respects, but the accusations that they face this week, you can also say it's an ageing squad with this 7. You have to be in international football for a long time to get 100 caps.
Yeah, 5 of them are in this team, 5 of those 7. And the ball on the right-hand side with Kramaric, the former Leicester City man. You'll remember it just didn't happen for him at Leicester City, but he's carved out a very good career with Hoffenheim. And the ball is shielded out of play for a throw to Croatia, halfway inside their own half. Zlatko Dalic is down there, their coach, who has overseen a fine period for this Croatian national team. Finalists in Moscow 4.5 years ago now. Ball played out towards the left-hand side, and a settled team. As I say, this Croatian team, actually 10 of this team have started all 3 matches. That's how settled it's been. He has Lovren at the back. I'm not sure he was necessarily expected to start all of the matches, the 33-year-old Lovren, the former Liverpool man, but there he is in the heart of defence alongside the extremely highly rated Gvardiol, the left-sided central defender, who I have a feeling we might be seeing in the Premier League before too long.
There's a few clubs sniffing, aren't there, and with fair reason. They're actually really aggressive in the 2 of them, because it's Trossard who's up front as the false 9, shall we say. He's not a centre forward, and we were wondering who it might be. It's him, and he's not the biggest, and so they can really get tight on him, knowing that any ball's up he's going to struggle with.
Throw-in, Juranovic of Celtic takes the long one into the Belgian penalty area, which is headed away. Ball bounces out towards the far side when Meunier will take it away. So Leandro Trossard, who for my money is one of the players of the season in the Premier League. Every time I see him, he looks so lively, a goal threat as well, as Croatia play the ball back towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's cleared away right-footed by goalkeeper Livakovic. And now over the halfway line to Kramaric in centre field with Brozovic through the middle to the big bustler Marko Livaja, the Hajduk split centre forward, and then there's a tango between Gvardiol and Trossard in the centre circle. That's given us a free kick to the Belgians, 0-0.
That's what we're talking about. That's the aggression. As soon as they win it back and that ball goes forward, right on his back, climbing all over him, he's Lovren and his teammate Gvardiol.
Belgium in possession with Castagna, who plays it into the centre circle to Leander Dendoncker, now of Aston Villa, to the right-hand side to Meunier, and then Belgium go back into their own half. So Belgium, again, if you've just switched on, Belgium know if they win this match, they will go through. But Morocco are already in front in the other match. Ball through the middle towards Mertens, who's making his first start at this World Cup. Carrasco into the box now from the left-hand side, shoots. It takes a double deflection, which blocks it back out of the penalty area, and Croatia are able to clear it away up to the man through the middle, Livaja, who is adjudged to have fouled Vertonghen. He looks as though he's capable of causing problems to central defenders. Livaja,
he did well there, I thought, because he was under pressure and held it up well, and Anthony Taylor saw something that I didn't and gave the free kick. But strong forward play. Yeah, scored in Croatia's win, their good win against Canada. Ball over the top, that's a stretch for Lovren, who just got his head to it and was able to, even though he's falling backwards towards his 6-yard box, was able to
headed away under pressure, and goalkeeper Livakovic was able to come out and collect it quite comfortably. So now it's Bonas Sosa, who's another highly rated Croatian defender on the left-hand side. He passes it forward, but an offside flag up against Perisic on the far side. So it's a throw into Belgium halfway inside their own half. Croatia 0, Belgium 0, and Canada 0, Morocco 1. And these matches are both on BBC television, by the way, so you'll be able to watch them potentially via your device as well, of course. And if you want to, you can listen to all of the live BBC TV matches at this World Cup. You can actually watch them and listen to the 5 Live radio commentary alongside the TV pictures. You just have to go to the iPlayer and look for World Cup Extra, and that means in this specific set of circumstances, you can actually watch the other match and listen to the commentary on this one. Here's Mertens now into the area on the right hand side, pulls the ball back to the back post. Carrasco gets under control and shoots, but he took too long to get it under control, and Juranovic was able to recover and put a foot in and block it wide, and it's a corner to Belgium. But Croatia very nearly opened up there by Belgium.
Yeah, good play. Carrasco, if he was left-footed, would have struck it home. One touch there, wanted to get back onto his right foot. The angle was closed down, the chance had gone. But starting to get a feet into the game, starting to get a foothold, Belgium.
Mertens to take this corner from the left-hand side, a right-footed in-swinger from the now Galatasaray man as he is. Here he comes, right-footed to take the corner. It's a deep one to the edge of the penalty area, but that is firmly and well headed away. Perisic chased it and headed it, and it finds its way all the way back to Thibaut Courtois. Great day for him, famous day, proud day to win his 100th cap for his country. But if things don't go well, it'll be a day he wants to forget. That's football.
Quite the quandary, isn't it?
Yeah, that's sport. Do you put him at the top of the tree, Rob?
At the minute,
yeah.
The performances for Real Madrid. Everyone talks about the goals of Benzema, but his performances last season, throughout the whole season, really stood him above everybody else, and the final just capped it off, didn't it? It was a brilliant goalkeeping display.
Yeah. Croatia 0, Belgium 0. Here's Brozovic, who gets it down and plays it back to Gvardiol, who's got the face mask on. I know it caused quite the scare when he broke his nose pre-World Cup, just a couple of weeks before the tournament in a league match against Freiburg, and they thought he might have fractured a cheekbone. He had big black eyes and what turned out to be, in inverted commas, only a broken nose, which meant that he could play. He's very, very important for this Croatian team. As Juranovic takes it down, and Juranovic's cross into the box is stretched and headed away by Alderweireld, and now Kevin De Bruyne gets the ball down, drives forward, arms pumping, still going, the Belgian captain, and finds the pass to Mertens, who right-footed steers his shot wide and over the top right corner as he and we looked at it.
It's a waste, big waste. A game they have to win. They need to take the big chances, and it was Mertens getting the chance. De Bruyne did everything, ran the length of the pitch with the ball, played through the press, got it back and was away. Timed the pass to perfection to Mertens. Just leaning back, trying to feel it into the far top corner. Well, big opportunity.
I've covered 2 of Belgium's group matches at this World Cup, Rob, and the opening match when Belgium struggled to that win against Canada, we didn't see anything like that from Kevin De Bruyne.
No, it looks like it's a game that could suit him, because he's taking up good positions just beyond the midfield at the moment, and he's finding gaps, and that's what he loves. And then he goes, and we've seen him for Manchester City be so dangerous there.
Yeah, incidentally, did you clock that? He was actually named man of the match against Canada, and he said afterwards, I don't know why I've got this. It must be just my name.
His teammate with the gloves on might not have something to say about that. Having saved the penalty and kept a clean sheet.
Yeah, exactly. Right, free kick. Croatia have run a free kick down the left wing. Modric has gone across there, and ever so carefully, with both hands, like a shampoo advert, runs his fingers through his hair and adjusts his hairband. And now Modric comes up and plays it in. Oh, and it's headed across the penalty area by Vertonghen. They haven't cleared it yet. Carrasco gets it down. He's put it out to Brozovic. The whistle's been given by Anthony Taylor. The whistle's been blown by Anthony Taylor for a penalty. Croatia have been awarded a penalty. Belgium were defending desperately, and Anthony Taylor was decisive there. He saw an infringement, very coolly and calmly pointed to the spot, and Belgium could be in trouble here unless there was an offside in the build-up from the taking of the free kick. Oh, and Carrasco it is, who's judged to have given it away with a kick on the foot of Kramaric.
Yep, and it's just sloppy defending. They waited for him to have the chance. Carrasco lunges in. I don't know whether there's a great deal of contact, but he certainly goes to play the ball, certainly makes some form of contact. And now, two Real Madrid teammates, you'd think they would practice this in training a few times against each other.
Yeah, there is a check for offside though. I think it might be. I think a Croatian may have been offside. However, Anthony Taylor looks as though he's going to get ready for the taking of the penalty. Well, it's still saying on our screen that there is a checking for a possible offside in the build-up to the awarding of the penalty. Yeah, this is being checked. So Anthony Taylor is taking the time to go around the players on the edge of the area. He's still waiting for the go-ahead. Luka Modric waits on the edge of the box. Still waiting. Still, it is being checked, so Luka Modric has to wait. We're all set up for the taking of this penalty, and we can't see the play continue yet. Thibaut Courtois waits on his line. I mean, how tantalising is this? The scenario that we have, these Real Madrid teammates are effectively looking at one another from 18 yards, Courtois pacing around on the line, Modric looking at him from inside the D, and there's the rectangle. Anthony Taylor has been called across, and I think this will not be a penalty. He's been called across to have a look at it on the screen.
So it's an offside, which there is a player offside, clearly, but is he interfering? Does he make contact with the ball? There's still a number of questions, and I think that's why Anthony Taylor's been brought over. It's not a straight, clear-cut decision.
This is not one that can be decided by the semi-automated system, as Rob's just explained there. The decision has to come on whether that player who was in an offside position influences the game.
So it's still...
What do you think?
It's still in... I think on the initial ball, there's no interference. On the second ball, it is near to the ball, but again, I don't think he makes any real impression on the defender clearing the ball. So
just to explain, if I can, as the ball's played in, it's Kramaric who's in an offside position. Now, the initial ball into the area is headed back across to him, and it has been decided that Kramaric was instrumental in the movement, the play that led to the challenge that was initially awarded as a penalty. And Anthony Taylor says it is not a penalty, that has been overturned by VAR, and it is still Croatia 0, Belgium 0, and play will resume with a Belgian free kick.
Well, they're still arguing, the Croatians.
That's pointless.
Well,
they might as well save their breath.
He's not going to change his mind unless he changes his mind again. But I think there it was just down to the interpretation or the decision of whether he was interfering, and Anthony Taylor deemed that he was. There we go.
Well, it was, as I say, the ball was headed back across after the initial ball into the penalty area, and the next player to head it down in the box was Kramaric. So he was involved in the play. Here's Juranovic down the right. He crosses into the box. It might arrive at the far post for Perisic, who got a touch to that, but so did Meunier as well. Enough of one anyway to take it away from Perisic, and Belgium clear, but they are living on their wits here, Belgium.
They're being cut apart at times, and it's just no real, I wouldn't say urgency in the defending, but they're just allowing Croatia to come through. I'm not sure whether the system, the changing system, where they've gone to a 4-3-3 that just basically matches up with Croatia, and Croatia are better practiced at this formation with, you know, three of the best midfielders in the world.
Here's the ball over the top for Modric down the right-hand side, pulls it across to the near post, and it's gone a long way and is cleared away by Meunier at the back post. Still 0-0, Croatia 0, Belgium 0. Morocco are winning 1-0 against Canada, so Morocco, with that scoreline, will be going through. And in fact, let's get an update. It's a while since we've heard from Aaron.
Canada 0, Morocco 1. Hakim Ziyech's 4th minute strike still separates these two sides. Morocco have dominated the opening section of the game here, but John, I bring you news of a Canada chance. Carl Larin, the Bruges forward, some excellent work down the right-hand side. He played a sumptuous curved ball towards his teammate Tajon Buchanan at the back post. He, though, couldn't get any purchase on his effort, and it was wide and behind for the goal kick. So Canada have had their first sight on goal. It remains, though, Canada 0, Morocco 1. Morocco currently top of Group F.
Croatia 0, Belgium 0. So Morocco would have 6 points, and at the moment Croatia would have 5 and Belgium 4 were the matches to finish as they stand now. But we've had 20 minutes of the first half, and boos and jeers inside the stadium here because they just showed the offside decision, and there was very little in it. In fact, it was sort of a few inches of his shoulder, Kramaric, that were beyond the final defender.
Had a slightly bigger t-shirt on, that's why he was offside.
So that was booed and jeered. The crowd here wanted to see that matchup, Modric against Courtois. I have to say, I would have quite liked to have seen that as well, actually, to see what happened next. The ball's been brought forward on the left-hand side for Croatia with Perisic. Oh, does well. Gets the cross into the back post, taken down by Kramaric. Kramaric now from foot to foot. Then in comes the tackle to put it out of play by the Leicester City man, Castagna.
They're just allowing a lot of crosses. Belgium, there's no pressure on the ball out wide. They just can't get out there quick enough.
Throw in from the right-hand side. Juranovic, who could potentially have taken penalties. Juranovic, he does for Celtic. Long throw into the box. Witsel is able to head it up and away for Belgium. De Bruyne gets a header on that as well. Trossard tries to shield it halfway inside the Croatian half, and Trossard is now almost in the right-back position as he takes the ball over there. This is the man who's playing as the false number 9. And now Belgium keep possession with Castagna. It's been played at a great pace, and actually it's a beautiful temperature for football this evening. It really is not too hot at all in Doha this evening. And of course the air conditioning is on. In this stadium we actually have the little air conditioning outlets directly behind where we sit here, so it's blowing the cool air into us. So it's actually not possible to give an accurate idea of what the temperature is outside the ground.
I was wondering why my ankles were cold.
Yeah, that'll teach you if they're not wearing socks. Croatia 0, Belgium 0. Ball is back to Vertonghen, who plays it across to Courtois. Towering figure, Thibaut Courtois, 6'6", maybe slightly more. And now Carrasco back to Castagna, and Belgium have got the ball back just in front of their own penalty area now. It's being shuffled forward by Alderweireld. Roberto Martinez there in full suit, white shirt, tie, shaven-headed, turns around in frustration. I think he wants Belgium to get on the front foot here. I mean, he's really gambled, hasn't he, with his team selection tonight, the changes that he's made. You know, if things don't work out, there'll be questions about everything he's done at this World Cup. And there has been further developments in the Canada-Morocco game. Aaron.
Canada 0, Morocco 2, and this is a cracking goal from Sevilla's Youssef En-Nesyri. A brilliant ball played down the right-hand channel. He had plenty of work to do, 2 defenders with him, but he shrugged off the defender and finished, drilled it in at the near post. A cracking finish from the Moroccan forward. And Morocco, John, have scored more than 1 goal in a game at this tournament. They've beat their past 2, they won the past 2 games 1-0, 1-0. But that was a fantastic goal from En-Nesyri, and the Moroccans now going 7 points. Sorry, they've got 7 points at the top of Group F. They've gone 2-0 up here. Canada 0, Morocco 2.
Looking very good for Morocco. I think you can begin to pencil their name into the last 16. I mean, if Canada come back and get anything out of that from that position, even though there's still 3/4 of the match to go, that would be remarkable.
Well, I think it's settled the minds of the players here for sure, saying we've got to get this job done. There's no point looking elsewhere, not like last night.
So Croatia, a win or a draw would be enough for them, and actually the table is just being shown in the ground now, so everyone inside the stadium here, the table is being shown on the big screen inside the ground. I can't remember that ever being done before. And it's actually quite a good idea.
If there was any doubt as to whether the players know and whether they get the information on the field, they certainly know now.
Yeah, well, Roberto Martinez will know that Morocco are leading by 2-0. His team are going to have to win this game. The ball is played out towards the left-hand side by Trossard. And now, popping up on the left, it is Mertens. He carries it towards the edge of the box. Witsel on his right foot shoots. It hit Brozovic on the edge of the penalty area. That took the pace off it. And Sosa, the left-back, was able to clear. And now it's very calmly headed back to goalkeeper Livakovic.
That was brilliant. From 20 yards away, just head it over about 6 players, back to the goalkeeper. That's one way of retaining possession.
Croatia 0, Belgium 0. And with Morocco leading by 2-0. It's very simple for Belgium now. They've got to win it. Here's Modric on the right-hand side. Luka Modric, who at the age of 37 must be his last World Cup, although he's still talking about potentially playing in the Euros in Germany in 2 years' time. Ball into the area with Croatia, Perisic. It's bounced off Dendonka, who was a little fortunate there to be able to get a foot in against Kovacic as well, the Chelsea man. And here he is, Kovacic, playing it back centrally to Brozovic. And Brozovic on his right foot thought about it, I think, from 30 yards. Back to Kovacic, though, on the left-hand side. And now Sosa is out there as well. Little ball through to Perisic. And in comes the challenge to put it behind by Meunier for a corner to Croatia, which is their first of the match.
Yeah, they're struggling, Belgium. When Croatia have got the ball, they manage to, when they do manage to get one press, they come very, very narrow and very, very tight across the pitch. And the switch is on, and that allows so much space. And with the midfield of Brozovic and in particular Kovacic and Perisic, they've got the legs to get up there. They've got the legs to travel, and they're struggling to really contain Croatia.
Yeah, they've done well at the moment to keep Croatia out. Could easily be 1-0, although Belgium have posed problems at the other end. Corner then for Croatia. From over on the far side, right-footed in swinger from Modric, which is headed away by Witsel, just outside the 6-yard box. But we do have the tantalising prospect, Rob, that I outlined before kickoff, that if Belgium were able to get the opening goal here, with the scores as they are, it would be Croatia going out.
We're not going to have to rely on getting the calculators and yellow cards equations out, are we, today?
Which is something of a relief. It's never my strong point. So the ball bounces out of play again on the halfway line for another throw into Croatia. In the first half, Croatia in the red and white checked shirts are playing from left to right as we look. And normally at the tournaments you're used to seeing very, very large contingents of Croatian supporters, but as I say, it's a tight-knit group on the lower tier behind this ground, probably behind the goal to our left, probably only maybe several hundred of them there, but you cannot miss them in the red and white checks. And I noticed actually there's a line of them wearing full Qatari dress in red and white checks with red and white check headdresses as well. Croatia 0, Belgium 0. And Sosa is over the halfway line, gives it to Perisic, the Tottenham man as he is now. And Perisic swings a high pass from left to right. Kramaric takes us down just underneath his chin and then passes it back to right back Juranovic, the number 22 and the number 9 combining together. Croatia, if you've just switched on, Croatia thought they had a penalty. They were awarded a penalty by Anthony Taylor, but it had to be overturned by VAR, and Modric has run into an offside position down the right-hand side, so that'll be a free kick to Belgium. So we thought we were going to have Modric taking a penalty against Courtois, the club mates, but it was overturned. And Anthony Taylor, tricky-ish decision after he was involved in his first match in a bit of a tester, wasn't he, when he ended up sending off the South Korean coach, Paulo Bento, who complained that his team weren't allowed to take a corner at the end of that match, Anthony Taylor deeming that time was up. And you would think that if England were not able to progress, he would have to be a candidate for the latter stages of the tournament. The ball is back with goalkeeper Livakovic, passes out through the middle, and Lovren turns and passes it downfield, but passes it to the red and black of Belgium. And now Vertonghen has a look to the left and a look to the right, and passes it to the right to Dendonka, and then all the way back to another of the old stagers, Alderweireld. And Belgium are actually being forced to retreat and take the ball back all the way into their own half. Perisic herring round there, and then closing down Courtois, and then running across there to Alderweireld as well, but Belgium just passing it around as he does that. But they've actually gone all the way back now into their own 6-yard area from a position whereby they were halfway inside the Croatian half. Half an hour play. Croatia 0, Belgium 0. And Morocco look as though they're on their way into the last 16 with a 2-0 lead against Canada. The winners and runners-up in this group will play the winners and runners-up in tonight's group: Costa Rica, Germany, Japan, Spain. You'll hear those matches on 5 Live tonight. Here is Carrasco, rather laboured step over. Passes it back to Castagna, and then Carrasco again. Carrasco shuffles it forward, but then is back to give it infield to Trossard. Belgium now, this is all rather ponderous, I must say, as Belgium bring it forward. Croatia just standing off them and letting Belgium knock the ball around. But there's no great zip to this. Witsel, square to Castagna. Now it's to Carrasco again, but it bounces off him. Juranovic was very nearly in there to put in the tackle. Kramaric, actually, it was. And then through the middle to Bruyne. Brozovic puts in the tackle on him. Kovacic couldn't take it forward, so Belgium have got it back again, still inside the Croatian half. Then square to Witsel, and Witsel, with all of that black hair of his, gives it to Trossard, now to Castagna, and then in comes the cross from Mertens, but Gvardiol takes that down very nicely in a tight area on the edge of his D, and Croatia pass it away themselves from the back. Kramaric. So all of that possession for Belgium came to absolutely nothing. And now it's Croatia. Brozovic out to the left-hand side. Trossard couldn't get there in time. Sosa going now. You can hear the noise levels increase inside the Ahmed bin Ali as Croatia move into the Belgian half. And it's passed forward to Modric, to Sosa, who takes it out towards the left-hand side, and then in comes the challenge from Alderweireld to put it out for a throw. Rob Green.
It was Modric-esque. It looks like such a good touch and turn. You thought, wow, it is Modric, and it was a brilliant pass because it was so tight in there, and he dealt with it so well. But it was just a contrast there that they fired a ball in. We were saying before the game, be braver on the ball. Belgium have got to be braver, and it isn't. It isn't at the minute. Like you say, it is ponderous. It's not really probing. That there from Croatia, that went in, out, right. Where was the runner? There he is. Let's find him.
Kramaric swings the ball to the left-hand side to Perisic. He's struggling to get the bouncing ball under control, but he has now. He's still in the box. Across to Brozovic, just outside the D, onto his left foot, shoots, but blocked that source. Then Donka stepped in. Ball bounces back to Sosa again on the left, who does have a touch of the Modric about him. Here's the cross, and it's headed goalwards by Kramaric. But in between two Belgian defenders, he had them either side of his shoulders. It dropped over the top of the crossbar. Actually, it was Levaya with the header, the number 14.
Yeah, did well to get the header, but again, it's just good play from Croatia. They're using the runners, they're using the width, they're using the play, and they just know what they're doing. If Belgium get the ball, it's slow, and they're kind of almost looking to someone say, are you going to do something? No. Oh, right, are you? No. Oh, we're not sure.
Croatia 0, Belgium 0. Morocco still in complete control against Canada. Aaron Paul?
Absolutely. Canada 0, Morocco 2, and they're searching for a third. Abdelhamid Sabiri and Sofiane Boufal just colliding into each other as Boufal lined up the curling shot. The ball played from the right. There was Boufal, but his colleague just getting in front of him. Canada offering nothing going forward. Morocco, as I mentioned earlier, currently on 7 points at the top of Group F. They need a draw. They're currently 2 goals up here against Canada.
And with that scoreline, Croatia know that a draw would be enough for them in this game. Belgium have to win it. So will that come into the mind of... I mean, it has to come into the mind of the players, because one or two of them surely will have seen that table being shown on the screen.
Oh, they'll know. They'll know now. And I think, realistically, the way Morocco have gone about their business, they were heavy favourites to win that game and claim one of the spots. So I think they're on no uncertain time stepping onto the pitch before they even kicked the ball.
As Belgium try to come forward. But it does feel as though Croatia have just put the handbrake on a little. It just feels like that to me in the game. You know, from your experience, Rob, when you've been involved in groups and whatnot, is it always very clearly spelled out before you go out for the match, all of the various scenarios in your experience?
Yeah, and you what you don't want is question marks. What you don't want, there's enough going on in your brain during a game. You don't need added question marks.
Ball played infield. Witzel's got a bit of space here near the edge of the penalty area, and then finds Carrasco on the left-hand side. Croatia have got lots of bodies back though. Carrasco into the box, right-footed cross to the back post. That's headed away by Sosa for Croatia. Nodded back into the area by De Bruyne. Headed away for Croatia. Then headed out by Castagna to the right-hand side. Meunier is there. Meunier is able to get the crossover, but he's put too much on it, and it just drifts away beyond the far post and behind for a goal kick.
I think you're right, John, that they have put the handbrake on a bit. They've just pulled it back in a bit, Croatia. But I think that's more that they've been playing for half an hour and they just couldn't play at that intensity for a full 45 minutes, which is no great surprise because there's a lot of effort in the transition, in the pressing.
0-0 here. In the car that we're driving here, the handbrake is actually, you put it on with your foot, strangely. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Ball is played forward from the back for Belgium into the centre circle. De Bruyne lifts a right-footed pass forward, but that is just chested back by Juranovic to his goalkeeper. Must mention as well, Aaron Paul, who's monitoring that other match, has given us a great list of places to go. He's obviously got experience of Doha. We went to one of his recommendations in the Souk Waqif the other day, which was very, very good. My first visit to it was a little place for breakfast, actually, Rob. My first visit to the Souk Waqif.
Thanks for the invite.
Well, you're always very welcome. I was actually, as Belgium come forward, Dendonka, now to Trossard. Trossard takes it on, but Guardiola's there, and then there's a sliding interception from Perisic, brilliant from him, and got to his feet as well, and got there before Mertens on the edge of the box. And now Croatia come forward and play it through the middle, and then the pass to the right-hand side. Kramaric allows the ball to run down into the Belgian left-back area, and turns, and he finds himself up against Vertonghen, and his crossfield pass has gone a long way. Perisic is up there now as well. Perisic, I'm not sure he kept that in. He didn't, actually. It was flagged by Adam Nunn on the far side. Anthony Taylor with Adam Nunn and Gary Bezic, the English refereeing team, said it was out, and it's a throw into Belgium.
Perisic is everywhere in this game.
Super,
He's got such energy. It is fantastic football. I really enjoy watching him.
Yeah, his third World Cup, Perisic, 33 years old now, and he's scored 9 goals at his previous 5 World Cup and European Championship finals tournaments. I mean, that is a super record. And if you remember, scored in the semi-final against England 4 years ago, and in the final against France. He is a very, very good footballer. Modric passing it to the left-hand side. And Croatia with Chelsea and Tottenham together over there, Kovacic and Perisic. In it comes from the left-hand side now, as Brozovic just puts his foot on the ball and then gives it back to Kovacic, and they go back into their own half. Great noise now coming out of those Croatian fans, even though they're not in the biggest numbers here, waving their flags. They will know as well that a point will be enough to take Croatia through into the last 16. Ball with Livakovic now, the goalkeeper who took over from his great friend Subasic, who was the goalkeeper at the World Cup 4 years ago when they had that great run to the final. Header is won by Brozovic, then it bounces forward for Croatia. Livaja tries to stretch and lay it off, and then there's a foul on Brozovic, and it's a free kick to Croatia in the centre circle. Yes, I was down in the Souk Waqif that morning because I was doing the Bauble Challenge with Rick Edwards on breakfast that morning, so it was maybe a little bit early for your liking, Rod, although you're actually an early bird, aren't you?
Well, I've also been knocked off the leaderboard, I believe, as well.
Who knocked you off the top of the leaderboard?
I'm not sure. Someone not too far away from me, but then I think you got knocked off as well.
I've now been knocked. I've had 24 hours at the top of the leaderboard. Now I've gone. I've been dispatched by Peen Mullenstein, who I think got 16 this morning. So as the ball's played forward for Croatia, but that was overhit and bounces all the way through from Livaja for a goal kick. I think that Alistair Bruce Ball will be fancying his chances. I don't think he's done it yet.
Heard he doesn't perform under pressure, so
crumbles.
Peen's safe.
Croatia 0, Belgium 0. So there may be more of that in the morning. And the test match, by the way, will resume live from Rawalpindi at 5 o'clock in the morning on Test Match Special on Sports Extra, if you are an early riser. Rawalpindi, which is round about 1,500 miles away from where we sit now. Long pass for Belgium over the top, a stretch from Trossard, but I think he got his toe end to it. That was all. It was the pass from inside his own half from Alderweireld, but it's through for a goal kick. Still 0-0.
It's one of the very few times they've actually made a forward run. Everything's been with facing the ball, coming to get the ball from Belgium, which is fine, but you're never asking a different question, and it's good to see just try something a little bit different.
Croatia 0, Belgium 0, and with Morocco leading Canada by 2-0, we can say, I think, quite definitively, this is a match Belgium have to win. For Croatia, a draw is enough. Belgium with the ball inside the Canadian half, but forced back to the halfway line. More news on Canada-Morocco, Aaron Paul.
Canada 1, Morocco 2, so the Canadians have pulled one back, and this is a really random effort from, it looked like Carl Laren. It's actually Adekugbe, Sam Adekugbe, who's drifted down the left-hand side, skipped past one defender. He's fired a cross-come shot in towards goal, and it's deflected in at the near post of Yassine Bounou's goal. So Canada have grabbed one back. Canada 1, Morocco 2. Morocco remain top of Group F for the moment.
Don't pack your calculator away just yet as Belgium come forward. Here's De Bruyne on the right flank. Back it goes behind him to Meunier. Crowd trying to get a wave going inside the stadium, as if this footballing equation wasn't interesting enough, which it is. Meunier playing the ball into the box, then Dongaroo with a run now into the area, pulls it across to the near post, and a touch at the near post, took it right across the 6-yard box from Mertens, but there was no one there to get the final touch for Belgium, and Croatia clear, 0-0.
Yeah, massive chance that, you feel. Game's petering towards half-time at 0-0, and just another runner in behind asking the question.
De Bruyne now to Mertens, and then back it comes, and Belgium have got it near the centre circle. Belgium are able to get a goal. If Belgium get in front in this match with Morocco winning, then it would be Croatia who would be facing an exit, but it is still 0-0. And that goal, by the way, that Canadian goal was the 100th goal at this World Cup, so Canada might be out or might not be able to go through, but they're the team that brought up the century at Qatar 2022. Ball is back with Courtois in his yellow kit. He's the odd man out, a red number on the back of his yellow kit, as opposed to yellow numbers on the back of his teammates' red shirts. Ball's chipped out towards the left-hand side, but Kramaric was right there, and the ball's played off him by Castagna. So it's a free kick to Belgium, just a few yards away from where Roberto Martinez is standing. The Belgian FA did talk about extending Roberto Martinez's contract pre-tournament, but that went so far and no further. And of course, depending on the outcome of today's match, this could be it for Roberto Martinez after his 6 years in charge of the Belgian national team. But with the scorelines as they are, they're not out yet.
No, and I'm thinking with that contract in mind, you just, with the players that they've had, you're saying it, you know, they've had a wonderful side and great talented players. Is it been, if they do go out, has it been a real underachievement from this team to not actually win anything? I think the players themselves feel that.
Belgium in possession, balls over the top, an offside flag against Levaya. Belgium, recent tournaments, quarter-finalists at the World Cup in 2014, quarter-finalists Euro 2016, semi-finalists at the World Cup in Russia, quarter-finalists at the Euros last year. Here, facing possible elimination at the group stage. But De Bruyne down the left gets the low ball into the penalty area, but Livakovic is able to drop onto it. Mertens wasn't too far away, but it was too close to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, they're getting in good positions now. They're making the runs in behind. They're actually asking a different question. It's all been a bit samey from Belgium at times. But now, just with those odd runs in behind, Dendoncker had one, Mertens had a couple, just making them ask a different question.
Croatia with Brozovic. Out to the left-hand side to Sosa. Sosa crosses the halfway line now and plays it back in field to the man in the black mask, Gvardiol. Now Modric, hair bobbing, passes it to Juranovic, and now to Kramaric on the right-hand side in the Belgian left-back area. Comes back in field to Brozovic, who tried to take it in his stride and pass it in field. It was blocked by Belgium on the edge of the box. Then Kramaric plays it to Sosa, who's going to try a shot, but that didn't threaten the Belgian goal, not at all. It's probably 8 yards, maybe more, over the top of the bar and into the hoardings in front of the stand.
From Thibaut Courtois' body language, you'd say he was disinterested in that shot. With absolutely no interest. As soon as he saw him hit it, he went, right, give us another ball, let's get on with this.
Might even go as far as to say uninterested. 4 minutes of time to be played at the end of this first half, and it just feels that a bit of the intensity has gone out of the game since Morocco established a position in their match. But it is now 2-1 in that match. Belgium playing the ball back into the right back area. Alderweireld is there, and then it's passed back to Vertonghen. Jan Vertonghen, 35 years old now, Belgium's most capped player, winning his 145th cap this evening. Carrasco, right-footed pass over the top, but that's got too much on it, and Livakovic can come forward and take the bouncing ball in front of his face and then underarm it out very deftly to Brozovic, who gives it to Sosa, and Sosa, long pass from him. This for Perisic to chase. Perisic is going to do well to keep this in play, which he does, but can only pass it out for a throw-in next to the corner flag.
You're thinking with the game, with the intensity dropping, like you say, John, you're looking at the bench for Belgium, and the players like Lukaku and Hazard, not match fit, not been playing a lot of football. Well, with the intensity dropping like it is, surely it's going to suit them.
Throw-in taken by Belgium, very nearly lost possession actually, but then it's left-footed, long clearance away, but that's a comfortable one for Juranovic to head forward ahead of Carrasco, and Croatia have got it back with Kramaric on the right-hand side. Kramaric, who scored 2 goals in the Canada game. Croatia's first at this World Cup. Ball is played back for him over the top, but it bounces out of play, and Belgium have got a throw level with the edge of their own penalty area. Almost 2 minutes of the 4 to be added on at the end of the first half have been played. Normally, of course, this would be drive time almost on 5 Live back home, so we will have a news update for you if that's what you're looking out for at half-time. Ball played out from the back for Alderweireld, and Belgium now. Trossard hits it across field. Carrasco's got a bit of space here. Belgium now take it on with Carrasco into the full-back position. Low ball across is cleared away by Lovren, who came across and was able to rather awkwardly get it away right-footed. And now Modric is able to fire it forward as well, but Witsel heads that back for Belgium. De Bruyne brings it down. De Bruyne, his pass forward is blocked, and Croatia have got it back. Brozovic forward now for Kovacic to take on, and he's tripped by Dendoncker right on the halfway line. Free kick to Croatia. And what's happened in the Canada-Morocco game, Aaron Paul?
We thought that Youssef En-Nesyri had a second and that Morocco had a third, but the flag has just been raised. So the initial ball was popped in, and it was headed back by a Canada player, then caught on the volley really sweetly by Youssef En-Nesyri. The flag up straight away, and we await confirmation of that decision. Milan Borjan in the Canada goal, just holding things up. No, Canada have restarted play, so Canada 1, Morocco 2 it remains. Youssef En-Nesyri's goal ruled out on the approach to half-time.
So Morocco, with that scoreline, would be going through, and they would be going through with Croatia. A draw will be enough for Croatia with that scoreline, and Belgium would be going out. But as Rob said, there is firepower there, potentially on the bench. Lukaku, I've seen him warming up already on the touchline down below us in this first half. Here is Juranovic, who plays it forward. Now Kramaric drives it across, and Perisic very nearly got there. It just bounced away from him. Sosa, however, crosses. It's over the top of Witsel. Struggle to get it away by Vertonghen, and then a slashed effort with his right foot by Juranovic is wide of the top right corner. He immediately rubs his head vigorously in frustration that he wasn't able to keep that shot down, and it's behind. And in fact, that is the final whistle from Anthony Taylor. The decision to overturn the penalty is still being queried. I see Mateo Kovacic. Clearly he'll know Anthony Taylor very well, and in fact, if I remember rightly, Anthony Taylor sent him off in the cup final a couple of years ago, which I know Chelsea fans have never forgotten. So that conversation continues. I think it's come to an end now, but that's been the main event of the first half. Rob Green, 0-0 it is, which is enough currently for Croatia.
Yeah, it's been an interesting first half. Started off like an absolute train, didn't it? With chances at both ends, and Belgium not really managing to get a foothold in the game. It slowed down somewhat. The intensity couldn't be kept up like that. So I think Croatia will be happy with the two teams. Belgium caused one or two problems at times, had one or two opportunities, but it's been slow at times and ponderous, and feeling with the urgency needed in the game, in the situation, they're going to have to up it in the second half.
Yep, Belgium will have to go for it at some stage. Half-time here, it is Croatia 0, Belgium 0.
I mean, John, you can tell how it sort of fizzled out as it went on. You started trailing the fact we'd have a news bulletin during half-time. I mean,
I'm just keeping the people happy, Mark.
I mean, there's loads of other great stuff at half-time. The cricket and Luis Suarez, but okay.
People might want to know the news.
They may do.
The news of the day.
Rob, myself and Nadim are watching in the studio here. Neither of us thought it was a penalty anyhow. Did you?
We didn't get a lot of replays of the actual incident, and so we only got one very, very briefly. Carrasco did lunge in, and you couldn't tell whether there was contact or not, but I think the act more so than anything. So whether then it would have been reviewed in a decision, had he been onside, that might have been another review on the review of the offside decision. So yeah, you know where I'm going with that. Anyway, it's initially it just looked a penalty. You saw him go in, the player went down, you went, oh dear, that's poor. So you can see why he gave it. Whether there was contact or not, I don't know.
Interestingly, for that penalty, I feel like we're in a position now where we see those like semi-automated decisions, and you're looking at the screen and you can see that yes, it is offside, but inside you're like, no, but it's not offside. Like, when will we ever be able to agree that an offside is an offside, even when it's being done by a machine, essentially?
Because that one was upper sleeve of the Croatian player being just ahead of the arm of the Belgian player.
Exactly, so it's a mile offside then, is what you're saying.
That is goalless then. The other game has been much more entertaining between Morocco and Canada. Aaron Paul.
As Canada won, Morocco 2 after a half in which they dominated. You do wonder if Morocco will be ever so slightly concerned after their showing at the end of the first half. Look, they broke the deadlock 4 minutes in. Hakim Ziyech with a long-range opener, dinking it over Milan Borjan in the Canada goal after the goalkeeper's clearance landed at the feet of the Chelsea forward. Morocco's second came after some excellent play from Achraf Hakimi down the right. The fullback playing a sumptuous long ball into the path of his forward, Youssef En-Nesyri, who caught the ball on the bounce and drilled past the goalkeeper. Canada, well, they've had limited forays forward, but managed to grab one back as Sam Akanube made tracks down the left. His cross was deflected off of the West Ham defender Naya Fagerd for the own goal. En-Nesyri thought he had a third in added on time as his crisp volley found the back of the net following a Canada clearance. That was ruled out for offside. So as it stands, it is Canada 1, Morocco 2 at half-time. Morocco currently holding on to top spot on 7 points, 2 clear of Croatia.
Yes, and Belgium will be third in 4. Remember, this group play the top 2 in Group E in the last 16. So that's the Spain, Japan, Costa Rica, Germany group. So as things stand, Morocco will be playing whoever finishes second in that group. We'll round up what was an incredible day for England on the opening day of the first test in Pakistan after Richard Foster and the latest news.
Take the World Cup with you. Qatar 2022.
On BBC Sounds, this is BBC Radio 5 Live.
A man's been convicted of the separate murders of 2 women in East Sussex. Mark Brown, who's 41, killed Leah Ware and Alexandra Morgan after meeting them through an escort site. He carried on collecting Ms Ware's prescriptions after killing her. Her body's never been found. Top NHS officials say it's facing one of the most brutal winters on records after data showing ambulance delays are getting worse. 11,000 patients in England waited to be transferred into A&E last week. The government says more funding is being made available. New research suggests Brexit added £210 to the average household food bill in the 2 years to the end of 2021. The study by the London School of Economics found that the cost of food imported from Europe went up because of extra red tape and checks. And Boris Johnson says he'll stand again as an MP at the next general election. The former Prime Minister is going to defend his Uxbridge and South Ruislip seat on the outskirts of London. That's the news. Ali Brennan has the travel.
In the latest travel news, there's a couple of problems on the M25 this afternoon. Anti-clockwise, 2 lanes are closed between Junction 9 for Leatherhead and Junction 8 for Reigate. There's emergency resurfacing repairs going on after a lorry fire this morning. Traffic is moving, but pretty slowly, so expect some delays there. Elsewhere, clockwise, there's 3 lanes closed at Junction 1B for Dartford. There's been an accident and congestion is back to Junction 28, with queues also building around Lakeside. You look at it, delays of 90 minutes there. And in Kent, on the M20 westbound, there's a lane closed and heavy traffic from Junction 5 to 4 for Leybourne. That's because of a broken down vehicle. Ellie Brennan, 5 Live Travel.
The best live sport.
The FIFA World Cup, Qatar 2022.
Coverage of every game on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
The stage is left to Marcus Rashford with the free kick. Oh, what a free kick! And that was special!
On Sunday evening at 7, Senegal v England.
We're going to go again, and it's knockout football now, so this is where it becomes a lot tougher.
Take the World Cup with you.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
BBC 5 Live.
The FIFA World Cup, Qatar 2022 with Mark Chapman.
Morocco 2, Canada 1, goalless between Belgium and Croatia. Morocco going through as group winners, Croatia going through as runners-up. As things stand, what a day of cricket it was for England on the opening day of the first test in Pakistan. They won the toss. They chose to bat first. Zach Crawley, Ben Duckett, Ollie Pope and Harry Brook all hit centuries, and they finished on 506 for 4, the most runs any team has scored on the first day of a test. Even more remarkable, given that a virus swept through the England squad just 24 hours before play started. And as we heard from Ben Duckett earlier, he was still sitting on the toilet at 5 a.m. Simon Mann is part of our Test Match special team.
Well, I've never seen a day's Test cricket like that, mainly because there has never been a day's Test cricket like that before today. 500 runs in a day, absolutely astonishing. What did you make of it, Alex Hartley?
I mean, it was remarkable, wasn't it? Absolutely remarkable. I think Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett at the start of the day really set the tone. They went out there and played their shots. They played to their strengths. They were aggressive but not reckless. And we've seen actually this England side, they've played some extraordinary cricket over the last year, but we've actually seen some reckless cricket at the same time. I don't think we've seen anybody play away from their game today, their natural game, and it's just been unbelievable.
And we thought, could England do this in Pakistan? We all saw them last summer, the way they played. It was exhilarating. Can't do it in Pakistan. Oh, hold on a second. Perhaps they can.
It's almost like they like to hear the criticism and prove people wrong. So we did speak about it. Can they do it against the Pakistan, bowling lineup? Can they do it in Pakistan? The conditions are going to be really tough. The pitch was flat today. It offered nothing for the bowlers. It may be a little bit of turn towards the end of the day, but it was flat, and England took complete advantage of that, and they've proven that on a deck like this in Pakistan they can do it, and they've gone hard and they've broken yet more records.
Well, a significant day for Ben Duckett, his first Test match 100. I spoke to him afterwards.
It kind of feels like a debut in its own sense. It's been so long since I last played. And at times in my career I've never thought this moment would come, and representing my country 6 years ago was great, but the one thing I always wanted was a Test 100, and I'm pretty happy.
Did it feel different today then, because you've had the experience of playing some international cricket and a lot of county cricket as well, from when you made your debut way back when?
No, not at all. I think I've come a long way as a player. I feel ready now. I probably wasn't ready at the time then. I think age is, and I've probably done it more consistently over the last few years, and I'm feeling pretty good about my game, and it just felt right this time, and I've kind of walked into the dressing room and I felt ready to go out there and score runs.
How were you feeling yesterday? Were you thinking I might not play?
Yeah, I wasn't good yesterday. Even this morning, I was actually on the toilet about 5 a.m. thinking if I was going to get out there. So, it was going to have to take a lot for me to not wear the England shirt and come out here. But the last couple of days have been a struggle, but it's been worth it.
So we had Ben Duckett and Crawley at the start. 174 in the first session. I mean, ridiculous stuff. But then it kept on going. 2 more hundreds, Ollie Pope and Harry Brook. It just kept going throughout the day. And again, it wasn't reckless. I mean, Pakistan's bowling it looked a bit toothless. The pitch was flat, but there was such a positivity about the way England played throughout the day.
Yeah, there really was. I think as soon as Muhammad Ali opened the bowling and he's just trying to take the shine off the ball, England thought, well, we're gonna cash in here. And even when they'd lost their openers, and they lost 2 wickets in quick succession and ended up with Ollie Pope and Joe Root both on 0 at the crease at the same time, which is never an ideal situation. Ollie Pope then went on to get 108 off just 104 balls. Joe Root is the failure of the day and the only batter really to score at less than, well, he is the only batter really to score at less than a strike rate of 100. Ben Duckett was 97, the slowest 100 of the day off 105 balls. I mean, if we're talking about Test cricket like that, it is remarkable. And Harry Brook, like you just said, he's come out and he's been brilliant. At one stage we were talking about, can he get the fastest 100 for England of all time? I mean, that's the second game in a row, second Test match that we've spoken about that stat.
Well, let's hear from Harry Brook. Great day for him as well.
It's a dream come true. That's one of the best I've played, I think. I've put pressure on every single bowler, especially the spinners. So, like I said, that's the way I want to play, and that's the way I've been playing all year. So, yeah, really happy with that.
Do you know that you were in with a shout of scoring the fastest Test 100 by an England player at one stage? You were really close.
No, I didn't know that, to be honest. But obviously, after that over of 6 fours, I thought I might have had a little bit of a shout, but I wasn't really concentrating on that, to be honest.
So, if someone had said to you, actually, you've got 10 balls to get 12 runs, would you have gone for it?
Probably not. I think the seamers were harder to face. Obviously, they got it reversing a little bit. It was keeping a little bit low, and they were always attacking the stumps. So I didn't feel like I could really get a boundary away unless they dragged one short or they bowled one a bit wider. But yeah, the seamers bowled fairly well. So I felt like like I said, they were harder to score off. But if the spinner was on, then I might have had a bit of a chance.
Astonishing days cricket, really. You can always pinch yourself. You look at the scoreboard and look at the scorecard.
Yeah, absolutely. And we started off in fashion, really, with Zach starting with that first over, 14 off it, I think. It was a phenomenal day. Probably one of the best days of cricket I've been involved in, bar the World Cup final.
Right. So what do England do from here? They've got 500 runs on the board. We only had 75 overs. It's going to be a shorter Test match because the light goes early. 75 overs today. What do they do? What's their target? I hear that Zach Crawley's joked we're going to get 1,000 and then declare. Realistically, where do they go from here?
I think take 20 minutes tomorrow to play yourselves back in. Harry Brook, Ben Stokes, give yourselves 20 minutes and then carry on. Capitalise on the start that you've got. Try and get up and around 700, 800. I mean, you know what? If they have joked about 1,000, it's probably been spoken about in the dressing room because this England side like to break records. They like to do extraordinary things. We're forgetting as well, we've still got Liam Livingstone and Will Jacks to come, who have played a lot of white ball cricket, and they are both in this side as so-called pinch hitters down the order. So we could see a really entertaining day's play tomorrow.
Well, 700 minimum for me, 1,000, no way. Mind you, we said no way, 500. We'll see. It's been a day to remember in Rawalpindi.
Simon Mann there, TMS podcast out on BBC Sounds now. Ball-by-ball commentary from 4:45 a.m. tomorrow on Sports Extra. Tomorrow afternoon on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, we've got commentary of Ghana, Uruguay. 12 years on from that handball on the line. Luis Suarez was asked in his press conference today if he'd like to say sorry.
I don't apologize about that because I take the handball, but the Ghana player miss a penalty, not me. I can say apologize if I take a tackles, injury the player and take a red card. Maybe I can say apologize. But in this situation, I take a red card, the ref say penalty. It's not my fault because I don't miss the penalty. And the player miss a penalty, he say he do it the same in this situation. It's not my responsibility they shoot the penalty.
I have to say, Nathan, I'm with Luis Suarez on this. Look, natural instinct, what are you going to do in that situation? You're going to do what he did. It's not his fault that they then go and miss the penalty, is it? I mean, he was properly punished. The penalty was given.
Yeah.
He was sent off.
Yeah.
What? I don't understand that. I mean, I do understand.
Yeah,
I understand how it works. But
it's emotional, isn't it? You're thinking that you've been wronged essentially. But for Suarez, he did what he did, and you're right, he was punished. if Ghana scored the penalty, should he apologise again because he took a goal away from somebody else who wasn't the guy who scored the penalty? You know, absolutely not. I think he's answered the right way, and most people in the same situation would do the same thing. I think it would take someone that maybe doesn't really have that cutting edge, who would decide to just let something go in if they could stop it and give this team the chance to actually be successful. Lost my voice.
Oh, it's all emotional.
I know,
so
I'm
emotional.
I'm sorry.
They're back underway. Belgium need a goal, and so they've made a substitution. John and Rob.
They have. They've brought on Romelu Lukaku at half-time. Dries Mertens is off, so Lukaku is on. Belgium's record scorer, 68 international goals, and they need at least one more from him in this match if they're going to stay in the World Cup, Rob Green.
Yep, and it's a move that he was going to have to make at some point. Lukaku, not match fit, barely out, back into training after so many hamstring injuries this season and struggling for form and fitness, so he's got it all to do. Belgium have got it all to do.
So we're underway in the second half here in the Ahmed bin Ali Stadium on the western outskirts of the Qatari capital Doha. Croatia 0, Belgium 0, with Morocco leading Canada by 2-1 in the other match, which is being played simultaneously. That means Morocco are going through, so a draw will be enough for Croatia. That will get them into the last 16. If Croatia win it, they will win the group. But Belgium, it's simple, they have to win this game. And the ball is at the back with the Red Devils, Les Diables Rouges, with the red shirts, black sleeves, black shorts and black socks with the flame-like design on the bottom of the ankles. And Croatia in the mainly white shirts with the red checks on them, white shorts, white socks. Croatia with Livakovic in goal, a back four of Juranovic, Lovren, Gvardiol and Sosa. Then Modric, Brozovic and Kovacic in the middle, and Kramaric and Perisic in the wide areas, and big Lavaya of Hajduk Split through the middle. Belgium in possession. Ball is played across to Alderweireld. Alderweireld and Vertonghen playing as two central defenders. Meunier on the right, Castagna on the left. Here is Kevin De Bruyne, slips the ball into the area to Lukaku, but he had his back to goal, just carried it out towards the left-hand side as Belgium play. And now it's turned by Trossard on his left foot. Trossard trying to find a position, but under pressure immediately, and Belgium go back centrally. And now it's lifted back out to the right-hand side. Meunier is there. Meunier with Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne in with the ball to the near post, and Gvardiol launched himself at that. Lukaku was waiting behind him, but it was another high wasn't it, to put it behind with his left foot.
It was a great clearance and really dangerous ball in from Kevin De Bruyne. Sosa, the left back, just half a step off, just a little back step. That's all he needed. That's all the invitation he wanted to whip it in.
Belgium with this corner then, De Bruyne to take it, outswing it to the near post, takes a flick off Modric's head. It's fired back in by Carrasco. It's rattling around inside the box. Belgium now with it in the area, played to De Bruyne on the right. He lifts it into the back post. Lukaku is there with a header, but heads it straight from close range, only 3 or 4 yards away, with defenders either side of him. Heads it straight at goalkeeper Livakovic.
Just a cushioned header, wasn't it, really? Just timed it wrong, just on the way back down again as he's after his leap. But in the first half, they put in 3 or 4 crosses like that with no one to meet it. There, all of a sudden, you get yourself a number 9, you get on the end of the crosses.
Just to complete that Belgian side. So Dendoncker and Witsel in midfield, Carrasco and Trossard, De Bruyne and Lukaku, the substitute, winning his 104th cap tonight. An incredible rate of scoring goals at international level from Lukaku. 68 goals in now 104 internationals. Here's Kovacic for Croatia as they come forward into the edge of the Belgian penalty area. Gets support from Perisic. Perisic from foot to foot, trying to find a way through, but uses Kovacic behind him, square from him. Now to Brozovic. Brozovic dummies to play it left, then gives it back. And now Gvardiol is up there, and Kovacic with the shot, but Courtois is able to just throw himself up to his right. It's close enough to him, but he still had to push it up and over for a corner.
It needs to be in a corner, doesn't it? He's such a big guy. Anything remotely near him, you feel like he's going to save, and certainly did that. Gvardiol, as you say, driving forwards, just all of a sudden just opened up for him, didn't he? Just like, wow, I'm on the edge of the box, here we go. So Kovacic doesn't score many.
Yeah, Chelsea against Chelsea past that. Corner taken short, swung in from the left-hand side. It comes out for Sosa to get it down and shoot goalwards from 25 yards. He wasted an effort at the end of the first half, and that wasn't much better.
They keep putting him there on the edge of the box to set pieces. I'm not sure why.
Croatia 0, Belgium 0. Still Canada 1, Morocco 2. This is 5 Live from the BBC. On BBC Sounds, of course, as well. You can listen to the live radio, rewind the live radio, which you can also do via your smart speaker, incidentally, at this World Cup, to go back to the start of a commentary. Here is Trossard playing it to the left-hand side to Carrasco. Carrasco running at Juranovic and then playing it to Lukaku inside the box, who finds De Bruyne with his back to goal and then shooting on the turn, but he got right underneath that with his left foot and sent it high over the heads of the Belgian supporters in their replica shirts behind that goal.
Yeah, it was a poor decision, really. The option to lay it off on the edge of the box was the right one. Decided against it. He's then under so much pressure from 2-3 defenders of Croatia that there's no chance of it ever getting close to the goal.
And that is Rob Green, former Chelsea goalkeeper, sitting here with us, watching Gvardiol passing the ball out from the back. So you'll have worked with Kovacic, obviously, in your time there.
Just Courtois was on strike when I signed, so missed out on that.
Yes, missed out. Here's Kovacic putting in a challenge on the halfway line. Then Donka was there though, and Belgium have got it back. And Belgium now with Vertonghen. This is a massive 45 minutes for Belgium, for Roberto Martinez, for a number of the players out there. You know, it might be their last game in international football if Belgium go out of this tournament. Particularly after Kevin De Bruyne's comment, as the ball is played forward from the back by Alderweireld. That's one for Trossard to chase, but that's dealt with by Lovren. And now Brozovic just flicks a pass with the inside of his right boot out towards the far side. And Croatia, who are playing from right to left in the second half, continue to have possession. Here is Luka Modric, former Ballon d'Or winner. The man who was able to break the domination of that award by the big two. Here's Perisic now on the left-hand side with Sosa with him, and Sosa receives it, and Perisic makes the overlapping run, but Sosa puts in the cross, which is beyond everyone. And Kramaric actually has to race out there to the right-hand side. He does keep it in play, and he gives it back to Juranovic. And then Modric approaches the corner of the penalty area, and he gives it back to Juranovic, and Juranovic's low ball across is cleared away by Axel Witsel in the middle.
The Croatian midfield just looks so comfortable on the ball. Modric is obviously beautiful on the ball, and watching him just operate is amazing to see. But
Sosa flights one into the penalty area, and that is taken down, played back to Kovacic, and he gives it square, and then a low shot from Brozovic arriving on the edge of the penalty area, left-footed, and Courtois was able to go down and push it away, but that was close. Croatia are asking questions of Belgium now, the match that Belgium have to win. At the moment it's Croatia who are on top.
That's a good save. That is awkward ball in front of him. He's just diving to his right, and it was a different angle from what he thought it was, so had to adjust mid-dive. It looked ugly, but it was a really effective save.
Still Croatia with the ball on the edge of the penalty area. Modric now onto his left foot. Modric shoots it, saved by Courtois. Down to his right, pushed it back out into the penalty area. Ball still in play. Perisic, now it's clipped across by Sosa, but that's above everyone and bounces out into the full-back position. And the ball is eventually tackled out of play for a throw-in to Croatia. So Courtois has kept out Kovacic, now he's kept out Modric.
A real backs to the wall stuff, and there's big few moments for Belgium. They've got to stay in the game.
They have, and Croatia are coming again, and Belgium now are being stretched. Ball across the box from Modric, and that's intercepted and cleared. Witsel stretched out, went to ground, and Belgium have got it away, and they're still in it. They are still in it, but Croatia are asking big questions now. And then Witsel is caught by Levaya. That was a little late, wasn't it, from the centre forward? And a free kick to Belgium. Croatia 0, Belgium 0-0. So 0-0 in this match, and in the other match, Aaron Paul.
Canada 1, Morocco 2. Morocco starting very fast again in the second half. Hakim Ziyech has had sight of goal and forced a simple save from Milan Borjan in the Canada net. As things stand, Morocco still top of Group F on 7 points. It remains Canada 1, Morocco 2.
Croatia 0, Belgium 0. Belgium are going out with these scorelines. Croatia and Morocco going through. Here is Kramaric, who's appeared on the left-hand side. Kramaric has got Sosa behind him. Sosa puts his foot on the ball. Ball at walking pace now. In fact, it's come to a stop as he puts his foot on top of it. Square now. Croatia. Brozovic again. One of those players who's been denied lately by Courtois. 3 saves, actually, from the midfield 3, hasn't he? Courtois, he's saved from all of them in this second half, from Kovacic, Brozovic and Modric.
Yep, taking it in turns. But yeah, those midfielders, I'm just saying, they look so comfortable on the ball. They just look like they can manipulate the ball at will into an angle of runners at different positions, and they just really do look a good outfit.
Yeah, a Croatian colleague of mine I was talking to before the game said there's no question. This is the best midfield trio at this World Cup. They're the best in the world. Ball was played across by Gvardiol to goalkeeper Livakovic, who's been a spectator since he made that routine save from the Lukaku header early in the second half. Belgium are going to make another change, and Torgan Hazard is going to be brought on by Roberto Martinez, who's walking all the way with him to the halfway line, which is a little bit of a walk from the coaching area in front of the dugout, which has the Belgium name and flag written across the top of it, the ever-changing roof of the dugouts. Another new innovation for this World Cup. Here is Sosa, passes the ball back in field towards Gvardiol, and then square from him to Lovren. Just over half an hour to play here on this dark Doha night. Floodlights brightly on inside the stadium, and we're watching Croatia come forward, and Kovacic takes the ball 25 yards out and plays it to the left-hand side. Sosa again curls the ball in. That's too close to Courtois, who makes a comfortable catch just above his head as he takes 3 or 4 steps back to his goal line and then overarms it out to the halfway line. Trossard is onto that. That's intercepted by the recovering Modric, who then gets there ahead of Lukaku and plays the ball back into the right-back position.
Brilliant from Modric, just charging back, realises, senses the danger, senses where the ball's going to come. He's always watching, always got his eye on where players are, where the ball is. Vital interception.
And he is Croatia's most capped player, 158th for him tonight. Sosa plays it out to the left-hand side. Perisic, in comes the challenge. It's a throw into Croatia, and the change we'll see. Trossard making way. Well, he was given his first start at a World Cup, the Brighton man, and he's not really been able to influence the game.
No, and you think, you looked at it and you looked at the lineup, and you could almost, not so much maybe Torgan Hazard coming on, you expect his brother to come on, but you'd name those subs at the start of the game. You say, well, I predict that these could happen, and they are happening. It's he's turning to Lukaku, he's turning to Hazard to get himself out of a hole.
So Carrasco being sent a little further forward. Torgan Hazard has gone out towards the left-hand side. Younger brother of Aiden, who was left out today, the Belgian team captain. So Torgan Hazard on for his 47th cap. Croatia 0, Belgium 0. Sosa again, halfway inside the Belgian half. In comes the challenge to put it out of play off Meunier, throw in. Croatia take it back towards Kovacic. Croatia 0, Belgium 0, still Canada 1, Morocco 2. And here is Sosa again. Sosa approaching the corner of the penalty area. Stabs it with the outside of his left boot to Perisic, who takes on Meunier. Gets the cross in left-footed, but too close to Courtois, who can catch quite comfortably into his midriff. No fuss about that from the big goalkeeper. And Belgium carry it forward towards the halfway line. But really in the second half, since Lukaku came on, that early header, but other than that, it's nothing.
The only shot on target in the whole game for Belgium. And that's a worry. Talking a matter of half an hour left of their tournament as it stands, and you want to be having more than that.
There's Meunier on the right-hand side. He's forced back by Perisic. And then Belgium with the ball in the centre circle with Dendoncker. He picks out De Bruyne, and De Bruyne's angle pass now to Carrasco. Carrasco takes it on. Livakovic with the save. Lukaku is there, and he hits the post. Right-footed. It hit the inside of the post. I cannot believe it didn't go into the net from that angle. The inside of the post, and it took it right across, at right angles, across the face of the goal, and out of play and wide.
You can't believe it. He couldn't believe it. None of the Belgian fans can believe it. It's brilliant from De Bruyne, just finding an area of space, then finding Carrasco. Gets blocked out from there. Yes, there's a defender coming across, but Lukaku, it's as good a chance as you're going to get. Just find that space between the defender and the post. A matter of millimetres from taking the lead.
Still 0-0. But when something like that happens, it hit the left side of the post as he was looking at it. And it's amazing that didn't then nestle off the post into the back of the net, right across the goal and wide of the other post. But effective from Carrasco, moved further forward by Roberto Martinez. You know, that was an important run. Just seeing a replay again of it, that shot from Lukaku. And the post was wobbling. The Spanish commentator to our right nearly self-combusted. Here's De Bruyne now through the middle, Witsel. And then Dendoncker gives it back to the centre circle. Into the last half hour now, Rob. It's becoming urgent for Belgium.
Yeah, and they're playing with a bit more urgency, and it's just playing and say, can we find Kevin De Bruyne? Because he's the one in the space. He can find the space. We're talking about the midfielders of Croatia being so comfortable. When it's so tight, he's the one with the quality that can turn in the tight areas and find the runners.
Yeah, he's the one and only. To go back to the theme of the week. Here he is now, De Bruyne on the left-hand side, but he can't reach that ball before it's gone behind. And in any case, Lukaku on the edge of the 6-yard box heads it over the top. But that ball had to be out of play before De Bruyne crossed it from the left.
Well, it went out for a goal kick in the end, but I'm unsure as to whether they gave it initially. It was taken out of the goalkeeper's hands by Lovren. He didn't know.
Yeah, it was behind.
Longwell, yeah.
Come on, Rob. Come on.
Just trying to keep jeopardy in the game, bit of excitement.
However, it would have made Lukaku feel a bit better if he'd been able to head it in the middle. He didn't know at the time that that the ball was over the line before De Bruyne pulled it back. Croatia 0, Belgium 0. So it's as you were. Morocco will move on to 7 points. Croatia would have 5. So Morocco going through as group winners. So Croatia currently as runners-up. And tonight, from 7 o'clock UK time, Costa Rica against Germany and Japan against Spain, with Germany's chances in the balance. Here's Sosa into the edge of the box, and then it's worked across by Kramaric. Modric is there. Modric on his left foot, finds the pass to the left-hand side, but Meunier was able to get up and head it out of play. And there's a real feeling of tension now, growing tension inside the stadium. And it might not have been the best spectacle for the latter part of the first half. And now a couple of changes for Croatia. So Zlatko Dalic is going to take off Kramaric and Livaja. So 2 of his forward players are going to be replaced by Mario Pasalic of Atalanta and Bruno Petkovic of Dinamo Zagreb. So a change up front. Pasalic coming on the right-hand side. Remember, he was a Chelsea youngster. Didn't work out for him. One of those Chelsea youngsters that went out on loan after loan after loan. And he, as the number 15, is going to play on the right-hand side. And Bruno Petkovic coming on up front. Still Croatia 0, Belgium 0. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. As Croatia head it forward up to the newly arrived 6'4" Petkovic. Now Perisic gets the ball down on the left-hand side. Kovacic into the area, stabs it back. Petkovic in the area, plays it back to Perisic. He had Belgian defenders all round him. Perisic, Sosa's ball in from the left, too close to the goalkeeper. Easy pick up for Courtois.
Frustration from the Croatian players, all through their arms in the air at that cross. Poor from Sosa. The number of crosses he's put in from that side and not had the quality that is needed. Easy pickings for Thibaut Courtois. Looking at those subs, they're like-for-like swaps for Croatia. And looking at the options on the pitch, there's not many out there that you take off other than the ones that you did, because you're taking off world-class players.
So it is Belgium who've got the ball inside their own half. I know we're high here, but a bird has just flown right in front of our eye line. De Bruyne now goes back towards the halfway line. I don't know if you've noticed, the birds are very dull around here. Witsel playing the ball to the left-hand side, and then Castagna. Carrasco will play it back to him. Now Witsel, and then across the halfway line it comes to the right-hand side to Alderweireld. And then a low pass across the surface of this pitch to Meunier. And Meunier has got Dendoncker for company on the right-hand side, so back it goes to Kevin De Bruyne again. Captain's armband on his upper left arm. Belgium still in possession. Carrasco, first-time touch, but in step Modric. You know, just sort of read that, and then there's a foul in centre field on Kovacic, and that's a yellow card for Dendoncker. Yeah. So first of the match, I think that's right, isn't it? Yeah. First of the match for Dendoncker for, well, a little trip on Kovacic.
Tactical foul, they'd say, wouldn't they? I think it's more the area of the pitch where you're thinking he might get away with it. Didn't. Just lost the ball there, Belgium, and it was that, trying to find that area, that player. They've just not got that mid-quality away from De Bruyne in those tight areas. They haven't got 2-3 options like Croatia do in midfield.
Guardiola is carrying the ball forward again, and he's bumped into Alderweireld there, who came to challenge but kept his feet. They both kept their feet, but he was able to force Guardiola, the left-sided central defender, to give it out to the left. Croatia come again. Sosa, he's had a couple of wasteful shots. He's put over cross after disappointing cross, but he's still looking for the ball. Here is Kovacic now on the left-hand side. Kovacic taking it on, low ball into the penalty area. Petkovic is there. He turns, defender goes to ground but gets up. Left foot across to the edge of the area. Chested down by Modric, who shoots on the stretch, but Courtois was able to go to his left. It felt like almost Courtois was already off and diving to his left before Modric hit the shot.
The lack of pace would have beaten him because he was on his way down in the dive, but Modric just couldn't summon the power because of the position, the height of the ball. It was just such a reach for him. Thibaut Courtois was almost waiting for it as he dived.
Yeah. Croatia 0, Belgium 0. Still, if you just switched on, Morocco are winning 2-1 against Canada, so Morocco are going through, Belgium are going out. Belgium, who a few minutes ago hit the post with a shot from Lukaku, who came on as a substitute at half-time. He's already had one header on target, and he's had the shot that hit the post. I must say, when you see that kind of incident there, you do think, is it going to be our day, when that didn't end up in the net? But here's Meunier on the right-hand side. Still time for Belgium. De Bruyne shoots from the angle, but Livakovic was able to reach up and just pat the ball down above the top corner, the near top corner.
Yep, he's given up trying to pass to his teammates now. He's shooting from anywhere. That was not a position that you were going to score from. I think, going back to that chance for Lukaku, if that had landed on his left foot, it would have been a different matter. I think he would have put it away.
Well, Rob, we're into the last quarter of this match now. So that clock is ticking over far too quickly for the liking of Roberto Martinez down there. This could be his last 20 minutes or so as the manager of the Belgian national team, unless they can turn this around. And that is the other side of this, with Morocco winning. If Belgium were to win this, Croatia would be out, but it's 0-0. Croatia coming again, ball in from the right-hand side from Pasalic, and he couldn't keep it in on the far side. It's out of play for a throw-in to Belgium. So 20 minutes to go. Witsel at the back. Witsel turns, and Belgium come forward. And in comes the challenge in centre field from Brozovic. That was a hefty one on Carrasco. I think that's taken the wind out of him, but he climbs to his feet. There's no time for messing around now for Belgium. If they can get on with it, they've got to get on with it.
Brozovic wasn't messing around with that tackle either, though. He's been patrolling that centre midfield. He does it so well in that. Just really destructive force for when you try and play through the middle.
So Belgium have it again inside their own half. Ball played back. This big stadium here, 45,000 capacity or so, pretty much right on the edge of the desert. The camel racing circuit is about 20 minutes drive away from here. We're very close to Al Rayyan Fort as well, which we were able to see on the way here today, driving in the daylight for once. Looks like something out of Carry On, Follow That Camel, I have to confess. That's the first thing I thought when I saw it. It says more about me, no doubt. Here is the ball to the right-hand side that Meunier can't keep in. Yes, he has kept it in, and he crosses now from the right, but that's far too close to goalkeeper Livakovic, who can take the catch. And Roberto Martinez, having already brought on Lukaku and Torgan Hazard, is now going to make changes number 3 and 4. And Jeremy Doku, the Rennes winger, is going to come on, and so is Yuri Tielemans of Leicester City. And both of them are being spoken to in great depth by Roberto Martinez, the former FA Cup winning manager. Kovacic over the halfway line. Brozovic now is able to carry it on, and Brozovic flicks it forward down the left-hand side. Space for Perisic, but couldn't take advantage with the ball into the box, and it was cleared away by the recovering Alderweireld.
The quality of crossing in the game has been really poor. So Perisic all the time to pick a man out, and he just picks out the first Belgian defender.
Carrasco comes off, so Carrasco is going to be replaced by Jeremy Doku. And while Belgium make their second change at the moment, let's get another update from Aaron Paul, who's watching Canada-Morocco.
Canada 1, Morocco 2. Canada really looking for an equaliser, but being limited to half, even quarter chances in this one. John, obviously, look, the Morocco defence so lean under Walid Regragui, holding on firm as things stand. Morocco going through as group winners on 7 points out of Group F and into the knockout phase. Canada 1, Morocco 2.
Thank you, Aaron. And the other change, Tielemans coming on for Dendoncker in centre field. So Tielemans into the centre of the action. The ball is absolutely hammered forward by Brozovic in centre field. That was almost up to our eye level. Almost the birds of Doha were in danger from that one. Bounces down into the centre circle. Croatia play it back to Lovren, who carries it out to the right-hand side. And Lovren now, ball forward, but I think that's going to drift out of play. It's a throw into Belgium. Rob Green.
Yep, Belgium making them changes, and now almost pretty much a 4-4-2 with De Bruyne up front with Lukaku. So I think they're just now trying to get as many forward-minded players on the pitch as possible, really, other than the captain, Eden Hazard.
Yep, sitting on the bench. Croatia 0. Belgium 0, Belgium with a throw halfway inside their own half. Back to Aaron Paul.
Canada millimetres away from an equaliser. John, the 39-year-old veteran, Atiba Hutchinson with a towering header from a corner from the far side. It hit the inside of the crossbar, bounced down. It looked like it had gone over Yassine Bounou goal line. No, said the referee. It bounced back out. Alistair Johnston with the header back in towards goal, and he's planted it over the bar. Goal gaping, and Morocco survived. Canada 1, Morocco 2. Morocco clinging on to top spot in Group F.
Still 0-0 here. Witsel in the centre circle. Witsel receives it back and then hits a long pass, but that's got way too much on it, way above the head of anyone in a red shirt, and it bounces through to goalkeeper Livakovic. So Torgan Hazard, who's actually taken up a central position at the moment.
Yep. He's swapping with De Bruyne. It's almost in a diamond. I think they've tried every formation going so far in this game.
And the ball rolls out of play in front of Roberto Martinez. If you've just got into your car back at home late in the afternoon, we're heading into the evening here in Doha, and there are 15 minutes to play. And there could be real dramas in this group, Group F, over the course of the next 15-20 minutes plus added time. Croatia winning a free kick inside their own half, and they're in no hurry because this draw is fine for Croatia. Morocco are winning the group, but Croatia would be going through as runners-up. If Germany and Spain win their matches tonight, it'll be Spain and Germany who'll be the top two in Group F. You'll hear those matches covered on 5 Live tonight. But Croatia with the ball in the penalty area on the left-hand side with Petkovic, but he couldn't pick out a teammate on the edge of the box. He was trying to find Pasalic. It was cut out by Belgium. They had enough defenders in there. That was another scary moment for the Belgians. But Doku now on the left-hand side, showing fresh legs, plenty of energy, plays the ball into the edge of his own penalty area. Now back from Meunier and through Alderweireld to Witsel. And now Doku again on the left flank. Doku sets off, carrying the ball at his feet, still going into the full-back position, drives it across, but there were two men there with him, and Modric is the one who takes the ball away and actually is teasing Doku with it, and Croatia play it out from the back. Modric to Kovacic, former Real Madrid teammate, and then there's a foul inside the Croatian half. No, it's not given as a foul. The ball is through with Torgan Hazard through the middle. The challenge comes in from Guardiol. He then dives in on Tielemans. Still Belgium in possession. De Bruyne 30 yards out. De Bruyne couldn't find the pass. It bounces back to him, and he does find Tielemans. And Tielemans' ball in, headed away by Guardiol, and he's found a teammate, a Croatian teammate on the edge of the area, and Brozovic is able to pass it away.
Another poor cross. You need the quality. You need to find Lukaku there. He's in the middle of the goal, waiting for the cross. Doesn't get the ball above 6 feet. Doesn't have to jump to clear that ball. Guardiol. It's been a game of poor crosses.
Official attendance 43,984. So that is applauded all around the stadium. Croatia 0, Belgium 0. Looks like one of these teams is going to be heading home tomorrow. At the moment, it's Belgium. Perisic gets it inside his own half, and Perisic is over the halfway line, and Perisic is running at Vertonghen, and Perisic is still going, and that's an excellent recovery from Vertonghen. I thought he was past him, the two veterans, Perisic and Vertonghen, but a great recovery from the Belgian number 5, and now Doku brings it forward. Doku out to the left. Kevin De Bruyne is there. De Bruyne's pass to the back post, looking for Torgan Hazard, but defended very well by left-back Sousa to head it behind for a corner.
Perisic had an opening to shoot, and he changed his mind. He stopped himself just to allow Vertonghen, and then at the other end, finally, a great cross, a good cross, well defended. Game's coming to life.
Torgan Hazard. We've got 12 minutes plus added time. Torgan Hazard with the corner for Belgium to the back post, and it is Vertonghen who was there. There were two defenders as well, and the ball is deflected over the top, and referee Anthony Taylor says goal kick Croatia, and Vertonghen just has a little word as he trots past him and takes his position back down the field.
I'm not sure it was a goal kick. In the end, they managed to defend it, but Croatia just taking a chance to have a breather. And now counting down the minutes, counting down the seconds.
If you haven't heard, in the first half Croatia were awarded a penalty in this match, but it was overturned. An offside was detected. Kramaric was deemed to be interfering in play, having been caught offside by the semi-automated system. And in the second half, Lukaku hit the post with a shot for Belgium, but it is still 0-0. That currently is enough for Croatia to go through and will knock Belgium out. And here is Modric. Modric looks up. Croatia will want to win the group, of course, and that will happen if they win. Modric gives it to Perisic, and Perisic now, a left-footed cross, and Pasalic arriving at the back post, but it was well headed away actually to comparative safety. And now Torgan Hazard puts in the challenge, and Croatia though have it back as it bounced to Perisic, and Brozovic wins the throw-in off Tielemans.
Was a good cross from Perisic, just waited, left it there at the far post, asking to be headed in. As you say, Pasalic charging him, just couldn't make it.
Not sure if I feel it in my water or not that there will be a goal in this game, as Witsel blocks it out of play to throw into Croatia down the left. Modric has we've seen glimpses, haven't we, from Modric of his very best in this match. The ball bounces into the Belgian penalty area, but there's an offside flag up, and it's a free kick to Belgium on the edge of their own box.
He's just not had that feel of a real quality in front of goal, has there? And you're looking who's the most likely. De Bruyne has been frustrated in his efforts of basically finding other teammates for the chances and not taking them himself, and Modric the same, and Perisic, when he did get that one chance, he second-guessed himself and delayed.
The fact is, while Belgium are going out with the scorelines as they are, they have a chance. They can turn this around, Belgium, and that will be, if they're able to execute it, this will be quite an escape. But Croatia could finish them off. Sosa with the ball on the left-hand side as Zlatko Dalic's team come forward. Here is Kovacic. Then back to Sosa again. And then Brozovic gets involved, the number 11, the Inter midfielder. Kovacic then plays it to the right, and this could be trouble for Belgium as it's angled back by Juranovic, straight into the path of Witsel, who's able to clear for Belgium. Here's Modric now, and Modric turns, and he sets off on a run goalwards, just checks back as Doku comes in with the challenge. Juranovic is there on the right-hand side. Modric now receives the ball, and with the outside of his boot just stabs it across field to Gvardiol. And he turns, has a look, he loves a wander forward, Gvardiol, and he's still going into the edge of the penalty area, almost overran it, was able to find the pass to Sosa. It was a little short though on the stretch, and so it was put out of play by Alderweireld for a throw to Croatia. We are into the last 10 minutes now, Rob, 0-0.
It's looking like Croatia the more likely, if it's either of the two teams, just wanting that bit of quality, that decision on the final ball. Again, the cutback.
Sorry. Croatia coming forward with Brozovic. Brozovic now to the edge of the area. He very nearly got it back from Petkovic inside the box, but the return from the number 16 is through to Courtois. I was going to say, with Morocco leading Canada by 2-1, were Canada to be able to level it up in that match, it would still be Croatia and Morocco going through, but Croatia would be going through as group winners. At the moment, they would be going through as runners-up. Meunier on the right for Belgium. Ball over the top. Gvardiol volleys the ball back at his own goalkeeper, Livakovic, at pace. And he was fortunate that it was bang on target, straight at the goalkeeper, who was able to gather it into his chest.
Oh, the subs of Belgium are up. That's a back pass. It's a back pass. Well, couldn't have meant that.
Belgium on the back foot now. Pasalic on the right-hand side. Petkovic allows it to run, and it bounces into the box. It was so nearly taken on by Juranovic. If he'd been able to do that and get a shot in on goal, that would have been something special. But it's out of play on the halfway line after Belgium got it away. Still 0-0 here. Belgium going out.
It was Gvardiol, the centre-back, just throwing a leg, a lunge at the ball. Flying back at the goalkeeper, just didn't really have any option other than to catch it. So I don't think Anthony Taylor could have deemed that in any way, shape or form a back pass.
That'll be in the stats as a Belgian shot on target. Croatia 0, Belgium 0. World Cup daily in the morning with all of the analysis and reaction. Download from BBC Sounds. That's where you listen to the live radio as well, as Belgium bring it forward. Ball played back to Vertonghen, and now Alderweireld. And Tielemans looks up, finds the pass to Doku on the left wing. Doku takes it down with his right instep. Lukaku and Torgan Hazard are waiting in the middle. Doku takes on, beats the defender. Left-footed ball across, is headed down by Brozovic safely for Croatia. And then Modric is pushed in the back and goes sprawling to the turf after that from Castagna. And Croatia, of course, will take as long as they can now to take this. And Eden Hazard is being called forward by Roberto Martinez. This is the last throw of the dice. The team captain, who is left out of the side by Roberto Martinez. Now Martinez is saying to him, come on, give us one last big effort and save us in this World Cup.
He's given him a good 2 minutes worth of instructions. He's only on the pitch for 5.
Well, can't say he hasn't been told. Croatia 0, Belgium 0. Long and forward for Belgium. Gvardiol is going to allow that to bounce. The goalkeeper hasn't come, and Gvardiol with Lukaku behind him has hooked it away, but he's only hooked it away to De Bruyne, and De Bruyne's ball across is deflected behind by Gvardiol. Indecision between central defender and Livakovic, the goalkeeper. Corner only, though, results.
Yeah, Livakovic in goal, he changed his mind, he called for the ball. Gvardiol left it, and eventually had to do something. Didn't know where the goalkeeper was.
De Bruyne to take this from the right. Here's the corner for Belgium. Big moments these. Out to the back post. Gvardiol, it's over his head. But then it was Vertonghen behind it, and it just landed on his head and bounced well wide. And Croatia bring it forward now. And Tielemans blocks it. And now Belgium are able to counter-attack. The counter-attack. Torgan Hazard. Eden Hazard, his brother, is still waiting to come on. Roberto Martinez is still giving him instructions. Still going, still chatting away in his right ear.
How many ways can you explain score a goal?
Yeah. Just score one. Just get a goal.
Don't care
a goal.
how.
Any goal, doesn't matter how, just get one. Get a goal. Here's Doku. Doku to Meunier on the right-hand side. Meunier gives it back to Doku, who's appeared on the right wing now. Little shimmy, shake of the shoulders, shake of the hips. Doku then still going, but he's overrun that, but the ball has bounced. Referee Taylor allows it to go. Axel Witsel, and then Castagna plays it into the back post. Important header away by Sosa. Meunier plays it in. Lukaku with a flick wide inside the 6-yard box. Meunier's shot into his path, and Lukaku tried to react with a flick, and his contact took it wide of the post.
Was that the chance? Was that the moment that sends Belgium out? It's an instinctive reaction, isn't it? He's just throws a leg at it. Just creeps wide. No chance for anybody to react. Oh, wow. Eden Hazard coming on.
Eden Hazard comes on to replace Thomas Meunier, the man whose ball across there very nearly led to the opening goal of this match. A goal now for Belgium, and unless Croatia can respond, that would be Croatia going out. But as it is Belgium, the world-ranked number 2 team, the team that has not been able to fulfill its potential over the course of the last decade or so. They'd be going out at the group stage of this World Cup. And you can imagine the reaction back in Brussels and all points north, east, west and south of Belgium. So Eden Hazard is on, and we're in the 88th minute of this match. Hazard coming on, his 126th appearance for Belgium. A fading light, really. Still only 31 years old, but all of the injuries that have disrupted and ruined this time, really, with Real Madrid. Here's Witsel to Doku on the left. Doku rolls his foot over the ball. He was fouled, upended by Pasalic. So it's a free kick, set-piece chance. Kevin De Bruyne is quickly across there to take this. 2 minutes of the 90 to go.
Livakovic in goal has looked uncertain with balls over the top, with crosses. So I think this will be one that Kevin De Bruyne should be sticking very, very close to him, getting the teammates to run at him.
Free kick is taken short by referee Taylor, is still talking to the players on the edge of the area. Belgium are unhappy about this. They wanted to take it quickly, and they're protesting to Anthony Taylor. Thierry Henry's down there, one of the Belgian coaching staff. Thierry Henry's now on the edge of the coaching area, giving instructions. Roberto Martinez to his left. De Bruyne with this free kick then. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes to go. De Bruyne plays it in, and Livakovic comes and takes a comfortable catch above his head.
Never in doubt. Has looked uncertain with balls over the top all game. Just cool as you like, just pluck that. It wasn't a great cross, was it? The one before, where they played it quickly, there was a complete mismatch because Doku was up against Modric. That's why he played it, and Anthony Taylor stopped it. Just not surprised they weren't happy.
Still 0-0. Morocco winning 2-1. Morocco going through as group winners. Croatia as runners-up. Perisic on the left-hand side now. Takes it on, but Tielemans is able to put in the challenge. Sosa is there behind him, and Sosa beats one man and then a second, and not able to beat the challenge of Alderweireld. So it bounces away, and Torgan Hazard now, who is being followed there by Kovacic, who did well actually, went back with him. and forced him to check back, so Belgium have to switch play to the left-hand side. Doku is there. Doku now up against Juranovic of Celtic, and Pasalic as well. Goes between the two of them. Still going. This is a great run back to the edge of the penalty area. Then the ball across to Torgan Hazard, and Torgan Hazard's ball to the back post hits Lukaku and doesn't go in. The ball bounces off Lukaku 3 yards from the goal line into the hand of goalkeeper Livakovic. What a miss.
An open goal. He misses an open goal. It just arrives at him. He doesn't know it's getting there. He doesn't see it. I'm giving him every excuse possible. It's Lovren who goes to flick it, completely misses it, and it just hits him in the chest. He's tried to chest it in. He's chested it along the goal line.
Back to the goalkeeper. Off his chest, 3 yards out. I mean, there's a defender in front of him, as you say, Rob. But
remarkable.
It came at him quickly, but really, I mean, a goal scorer supreme like he is.
You've got to expect Lovren to miss it, and he didn't, and it just caught him by surprise. But
4 minutes of added time, thought it might be more than that. I bet Roberto Martinez was hoping it would be as well. And Croatia, rather cleverly, Zlatko Dalic in his crisp white shirt under his dark jacket is going to make a change. Croatia going through. Lovro Meja is going to come on into the midfield, and this really, as much as anything else, is a time-consuming exercise, and Kovacic is the player who gives way. Well, Croatia are seconds away now from the place in the last 16 of the World Cup. They'll be going through with Morocco, and Belgium will be going out. All of the big names, all of this experience. Too old to win the World Cup, Kevin De Bruyne said. Too old to get through the group, it seems. But they're not finished yet. Castagna's ball into the penalty area, bounces across. Lukaku, no! Brilliant clearance from Gvardiol, who dived in and took it away from Lukaku in the 6-yard box. It seemed certain he would pounce. Doku goes down now inside the area on the far side. Good challenge by Pasalic, says referee Taylor, and Croatia will clear, which they do now. What a challenge by Gvardiol.
brilliant defending, amazing defending. It last ditch. It looked certain to score. He was never going to miss that one, but just a lunge, a poke of the leg was enough just to flick the ball away.
The chances Lukaku has had in the second half. Back post header, the flick in the 6-yard box with his heel from the Meunier ball, that miss in at the back post off his chest, and then that one there from just inside the 6-yard box. This time it was the defender's brilliance that saved that one.
I'd say as a striker you worry when you're not getting the chances. Well, if you're Belgium you're worried because he's had so many.
And you know, there's been an issue over his fitness. He's had a hamstring issue. You know, I presume Belgium have been able to play him as much as they can do. Batshuayi was left out today. Lukaku coming on at half-time, and he's chasing this, you know, looking at him. He's labouring there, isn't he? You can see it. We're in the 3rd minute of added time. Morocco are going safely through, still winning 2-1 against Canada in the other match in this group. And Croatia will be going through with them. Ball forward from Perisic. We might end up with Croatia-Spain again, as we did last year at the Euros. Remember the 5-3 match? Belgium take the throw. Back to Alderweireld. Long ball forward from him, which is headed away by Lovren, and then nodded across the middle of the Croatian half. We've got 30 seconds of time left. It's going to come very, very late for Belgium, if it's going to come at all, and it won't come like that because Croatia have knocked it back into their own left back area. Sosa kept it in, cleared it downfield. This could be the last attack for Belgium at this World Cup, but it comes to nothing, and it's volleyed downfield to Petkovic for Croatia, and Petkovic plays it across, and then importantly, crucially, in comes the challenge to cut it out. Still we play on. No, that's it, it's all over. Belgium are out, Croatia are through, and this is the biggest casualty so far at Qatar 2022. The world-ranked number 2 team, the so-called golden generation of Belgians. Well, that generation is over. it's ended here at the Ahmed bin Ali Stadium. Belgium out at the group stage after this 0-0 draw. Rob Green.
Oh, drama at the end of this group stage. Drama at the end of the game. Romelu Lukaku, his head is in his hands. He's being consoled by Thierry Henry. He cannot believe it. They can't believe it. The subs bench was up. They thought he'd won it. Just the chances that they had. But you go through the 3 games. Pure, simple facts. They've just not scored enough goals.
Just didn't carry enough of a threat. This Belgian team, 1-0 winners against Canada. That was a struggle. Then losing 2-0 to Morocco. And then not able to score in this match. A match that they had to win. They failed to score. They didn't win it. And they're out. And the goal, having scored just the 1 at the tournament.
It's a remarkable stat for a side with so much talent in there. Attacking talent. But on the face of it today, it wasn't until the introduction of Lukaku in the second half that they really posed the question more so. And then that quality, just that final finish wasn't there. And they're out.
So you would think that will be the end of the road. It's the end of the road for Belgium at this World Cup, but the end of the road for a number of these players at international level, and presumably for Roberto Martinez too as their coach. But Croatia go on. They'll be in the last 16, and so will Morocco, who win the group. But here, the final score, Croatia 0, Belgium 0.
And the scenes in that stadium are very, very special. Morocco have beaten Canada. They have topped the group 7 points out of 9. Aaron Paul, it's a stadium full of Moroccan fans really there, and they are celebrating.
Absolutely, they are. Canada 1, Morocco 2. Morocco win Group F. They came for the draw, but played for the win here. I'll give you the technicals first. Hakim Ziyech and Youssef En-Nesyri propelled them into a 2-0 lead. Nerfa, Gerd's own goal took us 2-1 and made sure we had a 10-second half where Canada huffed and puffed, but they could not blow that Morocco back line down. And right at the death mark, you just saw when the full-time whistle went, every single Morocco player just collapsed because the combination of the work rate and the heat must have really kicked in. Canada were excellent in the second half after what was a really limp first half performance. They came out to play and really just pumped the ball up, but couldn't get a shot on target. Morocco did have their chances in the second half, but it's been a magnificent campaign for Walid Regragui's side. His defence stood strong today, and they qualify for the knockout phase of the World Cup for the first time since Mexico 1986. Incidentally, Mark, this is the best group stage performance of any African nation in men's World Cup history. 2 wins and a draw sees Morocco through as winners of Group F, and their players are celebrating in a huddle at the Al Thamama Stadium.
Thank you very much, Aaron. 2 African nations through to the last 16. Could get a third tomorrow. Ghana taking on Uruguay. Full commentary of that from 3 o'clock. I don't have the other group table in front of me, but not far off. Take on Miracle for Cameroon to go through, wouldn't it, Nadim, off the top of my head?
Off the top of my head?
Well, they'd have to beat Brazil, I think, wouldn't they?
Oh, that's easy. It's no problem at all.
Well, look, we're going to talk a lot about Belgium, and we're going to talk a lot about Morocco. John Murray and Rob Green. Just on Croatia, Joseph Guardiol kept Croatia in the World Cup at the end there. Of all the significant things that has happened to Croatia, in this tournament, whether that be goals or whatever, that last-ditch tackle from Guardiol kept Croatia in the World Cup.
Yeah, they're talking about him being signed by, potentially Chelsea, one of the biggest clubs of Europe, for something like 60, 70, 80 million pounds, whether that's in January or whether that's next summer. It seems like it's an inevitability that he will move from RB Leipzig at some point. And the world was watching that, and that was a top-class defensive challenge.
Yeah, it was a good display as well. He didn't disappoint. He was good on the ball, driving forwards, provided something, a bit of a different option, just occasionally just going forward, asked a different question. But as you say, chap, that was as good as a goal, as good as a win. That was the chance of the game.
And great scenes in the stadium amongst the Croatian supporters, as I say, maybe several hundred of them, at least in the replica red and white shirts, and their players have gone to them. I mean, they're getting used to this. They're a proper tournament team, Croatia. the finalists 4 years ago, and then now all gathered together. They've got all of the staff together to have, a team photograph, actually. That's what they're doing. They've got all of the coaching staff, in fact, everyone, the whole shebang are down there on the pitch, and they're raising their arms and they're cheering. Zlatko Dalic is in there as well, and that is a public sign of their togetherness.
Even Perisic is in that without his shorts as well, right in the foreground of that picture. Just a word on that tackle, Nathan.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible. I think Lukaku's had some chances towards the end of that game, and he was making a big difference. And as you just see the ball drop into him, think this is his big moment. But just that extended leg of Guardiola, absolutely incredible. And I'll be honest, like, it took me back to times where I've seen other people do it, myself do it, and you get really excited by it. Same way a striker wheels off with a hand in the air. I'm like, yeah, look at me, I made a tackle.
This is important.
Hey, listen, saves a goal.
Yeah.
The other guys score goals, some people save goal, but the key word, which unites both, is the word goal itself, you see? So just as important.
I don't know if you're looking at the same pictures as me, but we've just been shown a replay of Romelu Lukaku when he stormed off the pitch, and he actually punched out the side of the dugout.
Yeah.
It's like a perspex side of the dugout, and he looked absolutely furious. And I think he was pictured in tears in the arms of Thierry Henry as well.
Yeah, so Thierry Henry was consoling him. He's fuming. As John says, he's punched out 2 perspex panels in the dugout. He's then gone to sit in the dugout. Yuri Tielemans is quite a brave man, because he was right behind him as he punched the dugout out, and has gone to try and console him, try and calm him.
We're going to try and get Gary Flintoff to go and interview him now.
Kevin De Bruyne has got a Croatian shirt over his shoulder. He's still got his Belgian shirt on. He's hanging around the dugout as well. Look, we've watched those chances, okay? Yep. The one he's hit the post with, he should have scored. Yeah?
I can live with that one, because he curls it round the defender.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he'll think he should have scored.
The Gvardiol tackle he couldn't do anything about.
Nope.
The one that he missed from 3 yards that was ever so slightly.
No, I wouldn't say. I think you're going to say behind him. I don't think that's the concern. I think it's interesting. I think it's Gvardiol again has just missed. Actually, it's Lovren. Lovren's just missed the ball in terms of trying to flick it on, and for some reason Lukaku wasn't prepared to just expect that he would miss it. So all of a sudden he just hits him in the chest and goes sideways. So I think that's the one that's going to live with him. Go on.
Yeah, the one that hit the post, did you say if it was on his left foot, goal?
Yeah.
Possibly, but I still think he made a very good connection with his right. I think from the angle that we saw, I don't know if you saw it, he has actually curled it round the defender who was covering that side. So it's not great, but it's not as bad as I've seen, I wouldn't think.
I mean, the contrast in our studio at the moment, Nadem, to the dejection of the Belgians and the delight of the Moroccans, and Regragui, the head coach for Morocco, is desperately trying to give a team talk to his players, who all just keep patting him on his bald head and rubbing his bald head, and he's trying to tell them to shut up so he can talk to them. Oh God, don't do this. They've now got him up in the air. Got him up in the air. They're throwing him in the air and catching him. The last one was a little bit hairy there. I mean, understandably, there's a real contrast of emotion.
Yeah, 100%. I think as you look at the Belgian side, there's huge expectation, not only amongst themselves, but from the outside as well. And I'm sure I'm like many who didn't necessarily have Morocco making it out of the group stages, yet still here they are. And I think it just goes to show for the World Cup itself. At times, we can see England and other teams who we almost expect to go through, not really celebrate it. But there are other nations where it's a huge achievement. They've topped this group with the number 2 ranked side in Belgium. And I can't really say they don't deserve it. Their fans have been right behind them. They've played exceptionally well through the games that they've had. And they're going to be a tough side, whoever they come up against in the next round. Don't get me wrong, they're not necessarily going to arrive as favourites. But when you've got maybe 80% of the stadium cheering for you, it always gives you that little bit extra. So credit to them. It's a great moment for African football. It's a great moment for the region as well.
Just watching again the pictures of Lukaku as he came off the field, he was in tears, and it looks like he was just trying to go straight down the tunnel, and Thierry Henry stopped him and got him in a bear hug.
Yeah, one thing I would say about this, I think Lukaku is probably going to receive a ton of criticism online and stuff for hitting the glass and all this. But then we complain about people who are too passive and seem like they don't care. But for him, that's the way he's reacted to something that means so much to him. Like, he's heartbroken, as I'm sure many people are, from their nation going out and underachieving in terms of what they wanted to do. I think for him, he would have believed that they could have made it to the final, could have won the whole World Cup. and now he's missed some chances and his team's out. And this is a tournament where he didn't start the first game because he wasn't fit enough. So there's such a sense of disappointment. And obviously you don't want it to spill over too much, but I'd rather have players who react that way than those who walk up and say, oh, what time are we going home in the morning?
I can see that Roberto Martinez is doing the TV interview at the moment. We'll be able to bring that to you shortly because he does his TV interviews in English. Christophe Terreur, Belgian football journalist, back with us. I would hope not, but I would imagine this could happen, is that Romelu Lukaku is going to be the fall guy for this, but it's more than that, isn't it?
Well, you can't blame him for putting his career at risk with the hamstring, I think, because it was tight. It's always been a race against the clock for him to get fit, and that's what you expect from a player who has the desire to play. He wanted to, if it was him, he wanted to play the first game, but he was not ready. The second game was already a tight one. But then if you risk your hamstring basically for a game, and then you will be you'll miss those chances there. I feel for him, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't think there will be online there everybody will be laughing at him, I think.